Another important key to moving in the prophetic is the key of looking at people. Sometimes it's as you are looking at someone that a revelation about that person may come to you. A vivid example of this in scripture is in Acts chapter 14, verses 9 and 10. Basically, Paul was in a particular place preaching the gospel, and present was a man who had never ever walked. Since he was born, he had never walked. And as Paul was preaching, we read that Paul was observing him intently. And then it says, and seeing that he had faith to be healed, said to him, stand up straight on your feet. And the man leapt and walked. It's a wonderful demonstration of God's power. But I want you to notice that it says that Paul, seeing that he had faith to be healed. How could Paul know that he had faith to be healed? Well, it's because Paul was observing him intently. It was as Paul observed him intently that the revelation came that the man had faith to be healed. And then Paul said what he said. And that is just a great example that shows the power of looking at someone and how a revelation about that person can come to you when you look at them. I remember when I was preaching in a particular church, in the middle of the message, I thought I would just scan the congregation to see if there was someone that God would highlight to me that I was to prophesy to or minister to. And there was a particular person that God highlighted to me, and I just knew in my spirit or sensed in my spirit that that person was the one I was to minister to. And they were actually attending to their baby, and so I got their attention and described what they were wearing so they knew that I was talking about them. And I began to prophesy what came to me. And then after that, I continued with the message. About 2 weeks later, one of the ministers from that church informed me that that person I picked on and prophesied to was not saved. And of course, I didn't know that. I was a visiting speaker at that church. But after hearing that prophetic word from the Lord, that person decided to give their life to Jesus. Isn't that wonderful? And remember that one of the effects of prophecy is that it causes the lost to know that God is real and present. So be sure to look at people with your physical eyes, because God may reveal something to you that you are to say to that person.